Hello. 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 Every Rush song.
Welcome to another scintillating episode where we are talking about your favorite band and Tim's and Jay's and mine, Chris's, maybe not Chris's. We're discussing
Rush's.
every Rush song.
Every Rush song.
Every Rush song.
Wow, you should do that professionally.
I
Jay?
do.
Luke, I am your father.
No, Luke, I am your father.
All right, we'll take a DNA test. We'll see which one of you is his father. Okay.
Next.
All right, Tim, my good friend Tim there in the dark, who hopefully will do a jump scare later, picked tonight's song. Jay, what song did Tim pick?
Well, it's no secret that Tim picked Secret Touch from the
Yes.
album Vapor Trails.
Paper Trail, which I'm pretty sure is Tim's second favorite album.
It is, because Moving Pictures is number one and everything else is number two.
Okay.
It's true.
Okay. I mean,
Yes.
I still think everything else is number 3, but what do I know?
You're wrong.
Beep.
And I can prove that in a court of law.
Oh, okay. Well, I stand corrected.
Yes.
Secret Touch, Tim.
Stand corrected.
Yes.
Why did you
Se-
pick?
Secret Touch.
Tell us.
Look, you have to take a look at the entire Vapor Trails album.
No.
And
Here we go.
here we go. And once again, you got to always remember the fact that they had just come off of a 5-year hiatus
Huh?
because of
Hiatus?
the tragic events that had happened in Neil's life. And every song represents that.
I mean,
And-
they didn't even know he was going to come back.
Right, exactly.
He didn't even know
were-
he was going to come back.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, he told Getty at his wife's funeral that he was done.
I just
Yeah.
thought it
You
was
know.
Gary.
But
And what did they do? What did Getty and Alex do as bandmates and friends? They supported him. They didn't.
They supported him.
They didn't care
Right.
about anything but him.
they
That's
said
what I'm
they said
Good dude.
nothing is as important as letting Neil take
Yeah.
whatever time it was he needed to get himself right. And when you listen to the songs on this album, there's a lot of it, to me, I think, is the same thing. Some just touch on it in different ways. The first song from the album that basically says, "Hey, we're back, one little victory." You take a look at that, and that is every little thing that Neil was going through to get those one little victories to bring him back. Okay. And Secret Touch, we talked on the one podcast about time stands still and how things are just rushing by.
I wore the
Okay.
same shirt for that recording.
So did I.
So, yes, Tim.
So did I.
Oh,
It's black. But it's the things and the I'm going to kill my dog. Sorry about
I don't
that.
remember.
Wow.
Now, was that
Yeah.
in
now is that how it is?
That was
or
the
is that
one
on?
lyric from that song,
I don't-
and it's Alex. You only hear it in the remix version of Vapor
Oh,
Trails.
the
That's
He
on the
goes,
2013 remix? Yes.
I'm gonna kill my dog. He's gonna kill his dog. No,
Huh.
he,
I have to listen a little harder, I guess.
where the lyric is, there is never love without pain.
What does that mean?
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Well, I mean, it's so true, because when you think about it, you fall in love. And I'm talking about elementary school crushes on the teacher, to your first real crush in elementary, middle school,
Mrs. Meredith. Shout
whatever.
Mrs. Meredith.
Mrs. Meredith. Ugh.
Am I getting the wrong teacher?
Yes, you're
The
getting
drama
wrong
teacher? The English teacher?
Yeah, you had a crush on Mrs. Meredith,
I don't remember.
but remember, she became Mrs. She was Miss Meredith, then she became Mrs. Nations.
Nations.
Yes,
Yeah.
but
Maybe I
she
just
would
like,
always remember. She would always space out. She'd be at her desk writing, and then you'd look up at her, and she'd be. And that moment of
nice.
silence was brought to you by.
very nice.
That was good. I thought, what's happening
Wow.
here?
But-
I was
but
just,
back-
that was
but
just the
back
only
on-
teacher I could
But
remember.
back on the love thing,
Love.
it's great falling in love.
Yeah.
But see, there you go. But then when that love is broken up, there's pain with that. There's pain when the person you love is going through, if it's an illness
Mm.
or a family tragedy,
A breakout.
you know. Exactly. You know, there's, he's absolutely right. There's with every love, there's pain.
Now, do
With-
you find that notion depressing? Or do you find that to be a
It's-
downer?
Well, no, I don't
It's-
find it either. I just find it the truth.
It's the facts, man. That's
you
just
say-
kind of,
That's
Yeah.
how it is.
that's the
Right.
way it is.
That's how it's going to be.
That's how it's going to be. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people that say that line is a downer, and to me, assuming anything else is a downer, right? That's
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, look, if it's a downer, and if it's such a downer that you don't even want to go through that, then you're going to go through life not loving. And how do you do that? You're going to love something.
Yeah.
Even if you decide not to choose, you've still made a choice. So
Mm.
you're going
Referring
to
to
love
another
the
song,
fact that
Jay.
you decided
I
not
heard
to
that. That was
love.
fantastic. Fantastic. Yes.
See how I worked that in
I
there?
do.
I
I'm
did.
So-
a professional.
Right.
You
So
are.
overall, do you think that this song fits in well, or is part of the kind of depressing mood, or do you find something else?
It's
is that creepy?
no, it's a
Tell-
little creepy. And everything you say is creepy.
Wow.
Sorry.
But actually, the lyrics are great.
Oh,
I'm drinking
My
Nelson,
favorite
by
part
way,
of the
for our
song-
Canadian friends. See,
There you go.
Nelson.
My favorite part of the song is it's just an all-out jam.
the song
They-
rocks, man.
The way they started off, you know, it's so quiet and so yeah, and then it's
Yes.
And that sound.
I love that. I love it. It's like we're talking, Shane and I were talking off pod. It's a cool little funky guitar groove that's kind of mellow, kind of soft, and then you get the heavy bass where the bass and the guitar and the drum all hit the dun 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 dun. It's just oh my god,
it
it's
is
awesome.
like it is smack you in your face heavy.
Yes.
And that was just so wonderful. And even, you know, I mean, Alex's whole approach to when they went into writing this was, guys, we're dumping the keyboards. And I don't want to do a bunch of
Preach.
guitar solos. I want it to be jamming.
Nice.
And they did.
And that's
did.
what they did. And now, like with almost every Rush song, there's one thing
Every
different.
Rush song.
Rush song. There's one thing I wish Neil would have done differently.
Oh, not something we say often in this show.
And it would have been something that he never really did. Neil, now besides double bass drum rolls, okay, and your beginning of One Little Victory, you know, that's him doing 16th notes on the snare and the kick drum, you know, and he's accenting with the snare. But yeah, that's a but Neil never did your typical heavy metal on the ride cymbal, 2 and 4 on snare, but at the end of their midsection jam, where the guitars go, and Neil and Geddy just sort of hit a dun dun, dig a dun dun, dun dun, dig a dun dun, and then that next part, I wish Neil would have been doing with that.
Really?
I think that would have been great.
Interesting.
But that's the only thing. That song rocks.
Yeah.
And then live, and Shane, you and I discussed this earlier, which was the favorite, live version, Snakes and Arrows tour or the Russian Rio. Their little jam at the end,
Yeah.
where
I love that.
and it's not like it's that heavy guitar,
No, it's just
it's just
Just
it's
right.
just a really cool
just
jam right there. Yes.
I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, and in the mix, that part there where Neil and Geddy did that bump, the bass is, as far as a mix goes, it's probably a bad mix. It's probably too loud, but it sounds
Great.
cool.
Yeah,
Right.
that's why. That's part of the
It's-
reason it sounds so. It's got
Yeah,
it's got that.
sounds so
Yeah,
cool. I love
yeah.
that.
love it.
And also, like on the intro part, when they're doing that bump on the rests, instead of silence, you can hear that sound, that little buzzing sound.
Yeah.
And I think I'm pretty sure he was using like solid state amps on this, right? Not electric or, not mechanical amps. And on those, the reverb was like this little spring in the amplifier. And if you banged on the amp, like this one won't do it. I don't think this one will do it because it doesn't have it. I'm demonstrating live on the show. This is like science class. Because I don't think
Science.
it's no, it doesn't do it. That little
Shane
springs
is
in.
blinding me with science.
Science. That's how they would make kind of a reverb sound, as it would go into that spring. And that's and if you banged on it on the amp, you could hear that. And to me, that's what it sounds like.
Okay.
That spring, but with distortion on it.
Now,
It's
is
just
that coming from the bass? That's coming from the bass, right?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because that's the other thing, is that, and it's not, I mean, it's very, I mean, it is apparent to me in that song, but also Earthshine from the same album, where Geddy's playing his part, but I hear this, like he's hitting something
Agreed.
else. Right. And I'm wondering if what
Couldn't have said it
you're
better.
describing is what that was, because I've always wondered how Geddy was making that sound.
Even the ones like those little fills that he does in Time Stand Still towards the I guess the pre-chorus towards the end of the song, I can kind of tell, I can kind of visualize what he's probably doing. I can hear the notes and and kind of imagine or hear where it might be on the fretboard. I couldn't play it ever, but on Secret Touch, I have no idea what he's doing. I mean, I've listened to that in headphones every way I can. I have no idea what Geddy's doing on that bass line.
That's why he is the master and you are the learner.
I'm not even the learner. I'm out there going, oh God. Although this podcast does make me want to get a bass to sell that acoustic guitar and that acoustic guitar and that stupid little Marshall amp and get me a bass and then just go back and play into all those Duran Duran songs like I did when I was in junior high.
That's
Yes.
beautiful.
Anything else about the song that sticks out to you? To me, it's the jam.
Yeah. I was trying to, I was
It's the
looking
jam,
for
but
that.
And I'll admit this, I'm not exactly sure about the opening line. The way out is the way in.
Yeah.
The way out is the
What do you think that means? Because I have.
Well, I think the song is about dealing with loss. I think we discussed that, And you've got to, if you're going to love, you're going to have to experience pain. And you're also going to have to know that death is inevitable. So,
Back to Memento
it's just,
Mori.
it's just, and then life is the power that remains. What's next? What are we going to do when we live?
But yes, it talks about that, but it also talks about the fact that, the line out of sync.
Yeah.
Now my dogs are barking and it's driving me insane.
That's
Out
a
of
very cool
sync
line, though.
with the rhythm of my own reactions.
Right.
Such a great line. That's so.
That is a great line.
I-
And what does that mean to you, Tim?
To be out of sync with the rhythm of your own reactions.
I agree.
Man, Jay can lead an interview. I tell you what, he's like the Brian Gumble or the Brian Bilta of podcasting.
Oh, that's a compliment. Thank you.
Well, what I think, I love Lamb.
Oh,
Tim, do you love lamp or do you just see a lamp?
I love Lamb. I love Lamb.
All right, so I had no clue. I could not figure out the way out is the way in, and then I'm giving a shout out to them again because I really the guys seem cool and it's a great podcast. Something for Nothing, the Rush Fancast podcast. They were analyzing. They don't do each song per episode. They kind of, in the earlier days, they were spending 2 or 3 episodes per album, and so not that I didn't disagree, but this isn't what they were saying. But to me, here's what I got from The Way Out is The Way In. And I partially got it from their podcast. You should check them out. Great podcast. But I also got it because I just this very day finished Ghostwriter.
Oh,
and
I
I don't know if it's. Oh yeah, it's great because
great book.
I mean, it worked right in time with listening to Vapor Trails because I know he's extremely clever. So I don't know if he wrote all of these letters and all of these journal entries that led to what is Ghostwriter, and then took all of the album from what he wrote there, or if he kind of had an idea, you know what, I'm going to use this in a song later, so I'm going to mention it here in this part of the book too. But so the last few chapters completely changed my mind on Secret Touch. So the way out is the way in. He went on this motorcycle trip to get out, to get away.
Oh, I see where you're
But
going here.
all along his trip, everywhere he went, he would meet a family, and it would remind him of his wife and daughter. Or
Nope, that's not what I thought.
so
I'm just kidding.
what he thought was the way out was constantly bringing him back in. He was getting, but then when I got to the end of it, and then I kept thinking, a secret touch on a gentle hand, a secret touch on the heart, that just can't be gloomy. It can't be depressing. It's got to be something else. And then I finally, when he's talking about Gabrielle, the first lady that his friends tried to set him up with, and when he's in one of his letters to Brutus, he's talking about her, and he says, "I've been reading this book, and it's called a guy named Joseph Conrad." Does that sound right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
It doesn't sound wrong. Reading this book,
Doesn't sound wrong. Yeah.
a song called "Victory," by the way, and he quotes this passage from that, and that passage had the line where there's a secret character, and his name is secret character. The main character, his name was funny, is clever. I can't think of it, but he's talking about meeting this girl, and he doesn't know what to think, how to process meeting this girl, and in the book, it has the line, "A gentle hand, a secret touch on the heart." So he got that line from that book, talking about how Gabriella was making him, Gabrielle, I'm getting her name wrong. Gabriella was making him feel like he could love again.
Yeah.
So what I started thinking is the first part of Secret Touch is about her, and it didn't work out. And the second part of the song is more about Carrie, the one that he ended up marrying.
Right.
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
Because, and he even mentions that too. It's like in the epilogue. Epilogue? Is that what it's called? The very last section of the book.
Yeah.
He even says then, where's the line? I'm looking through the lyrics, can't find the line. He even mentions then with life. He says, no, like getting back to life in the land of the loving, referring to
Yeah.
Carrie. So to me, a lot of Secret Touch is about how these relationships kind of brought him back. To me, this song is his path, not really getting over the deaths, but coming back to being able to live and enjoy life. And I would go ahead. Well said. Thank you.
I was going to say,
Thank you very much.
and see, he wasn't on this journey to go out and find love.
No,
Right.
just
But
happened.
because of the secret touch of the heart.
Right. And I kept
Those-
thinking, how could that be a bad thing?
The
Right.
way out is the way in, the way out. He's getting out. He's trying to find himself, and it's bringing him back in, bringing him back to himself. It's the way to get back into life.
Right.
Isn't there
He's
a
trying to
movie
get out, and he's trying to get back in.
where a guy's trying to get out and the guy goes out the door, but every time he goes out, he's back in the same room?
It was Jaws.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Was there really?
It wouldn't have happened if they'd had a bigger boat.
Yeah. Gotta
Yeah.
have
So then
bigger-
when he's talking about out of touch with the weather and the wind direction, with the sunrise, the phases of the moon, out of touch with life in the land of the living. That was when, because he kept talking about when he had met this Gabrielle, he didn't know he didn't understand how to date. He was completely out of touch with how to do that. He was wondering if he felt guilty about it, about moving on so quickly. His sister-in-law had a problem with it. So there was a lot of confusion going on with him also enjoying someone liking him, and then the feeling of liking someone.
I got a question. Is a common law sister-in-law really a sister-in-law?
Yeah, I think so.
Because him and his first wife, they were a common law marriage.
I didn't realize that.
Yep.
I don't know.
I have a also.
So what I was going to say is that she could just shut the up.
Oh, well, okay.
Wow.
Now you noticed
Wow.
that wasn't me that
That
said
is
that.
so many. How do we have so many F-bombs with such?
I
mean,
don't know.
it's Rush.
So
How many
Okay.
Rush songs have F-bombs in them?
Look, if you ever watch the behind the scenes of the Russian Rio concert, Geddy Lee is an F-bomb dropper. They
Is
would
he
use
really?
him in World
Really?
War II.
Big
Yes.
cusser is he?
I ca-
Cusser is he? Yeah,
so
what do you think about
go-
that?
talking about Ghost Rider, the book, which if anybody is watching or listening, I highly recommend buying it, reading it, or if you want to do the Audible, whatever, do that. But if you buy a copy of it, read it and pay it forward. Give it to someone else to read, because that's what I did, and it's benefited other people. They're like, "Oh, this is a great book. I'm going to share it with such and such." And you don't have to be just going through what he was going through, but it certainly helps. It helps even with me, for example, relating back to, when my mom or my dad died. You kind of relate to that in the book, and it's just it's an amazing book. And I feel like this whole album is sort of a result of that book.
Yes,
So-
yeah, absolutely.
So Carrie is his wife. Was his wife, right?
Yes.
The second.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do we have her to thank for this album? I mean, if not for her, would they have got back together and recorded?
Well, I mean, it's maybe we have her to thank for it only being 5 years. Maybe him
Is
not
he-
meeting somebody. It might have taken another year or two, and then I mean,
Yes.
it's not that I'm not wanting to give Carrie some thanks. I'm just
Because
you never know.
when he met her, he said he quit drinking. He said he quit smoking. Well, he started drinking less. Said he quit smoking. Started going to the gym. I mean, if he'd kept going in the other direction, would he ever have turned it around?
Yeah.
See,
Who knows?
I think
But you know
has
what?
some
He did.
regrets.
So I think that's
Yeah.
the main thing.
And this
And-
album is badass.
Also, was it me or was it? Didn't he like buy a bottle of McKellen or
A lot of
something?
bottles of Macallan.
Yeah, a lot of bottles of McKellen. Like
Yeah.
it seemed like every town. All right, so I have a very important question for those of you who have read the book or are going to read the book. And you might have this question too. I will ask Shane. You think Brutus ever got out of jail?
He did.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, he says that he got out of jail and
Okay, I missed that
they
part.
hung out a lot. Yeah. They ended up because he said they got to have a lot of those times in person
Okay.
because when he's talking about it, I finished it today when he's talking about when he finally gets to hang out with Brutus in person, and it kind of reminded me of passing the evening with a drink and a friend. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I finally got to do that.
Well, that's good. I didn't remember whether you got it because it's been a little while since I read it. So
Yeah.
that's good. Yay, Brutus.
Yeah.
Yay!
And why don't neither of you ever writes me letters like Neil wrote to Brutus?
Well, Shane, you're not.
I don't know how to ride
Oh.
a motorcycle.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't know.
valid points.
Those are the
Valid point.
two best
both.
excuses
Right.
ever.
You know what? I forgive you both.
Thank you.
Mostly.
You're the best.
Tim?
Oh my God, another
I
jump
did
scare.
not see that. And plus, it was towards the end. Everyone thought the show was over.
Yeah.
What? Jump scare? Tim.
Speaking of that,
You know what?
yeah. As of this recording this evening and late in the month of October,
Nate.
we have a certain friend who's got perhaps
Oh.
a birthday coming up on the October 31st.
Yes.
That's right. Our good friend Tim the Enchanter was born on October 31st.
Shocking.
Yes.
He
No,
is-
it does explain a lot.
explains
The
everything.
one sitting in the dark by the firelight who threatened to kill his dog he was born
Yes.
on All Hallows Eve.
Yes.
That's
The
right.
one whose fire reflecting off his glasses looks like the owl from Fly By Night.
Yes. You can't see me right now, but I'm waving my arms up in the air like I'm an owl fly.
Predator. I wouldn't want to be a mouse in his backyard. That's right.
Man.
Well,
Man,
Tim?
me neither.
I guess I should first say, please subscribe. Tell your friends about the
Yeah.
show. Bring in us some Rush friends. Maybe we could help finally convert some of your friends who are not Rush fans for a reason. And we'd like to know what you think about what we've said here. What did we miss? Where were we wrong? We'd love to prove Tim wrong. And you can find us every Rush song on every single social media platform. Most of them. Tim, will you do the honors, please?
Thank you very much. Great.
How do you stop this?
I don't know. It's just an ongoing thing. It's never going to end.